What if everything you've built isn't who you truly are? Before we begin, take a breath. And if you find even a flicker of resonance with what you're about to hear, please like this video and share in the comments where in the world you're rewatching from and what part of this message speaks to you. You never know who your comment might help awaken. Now let's go inward. You've spent your whole life climbing a mountain step after step, sacrifice after sacrifice, chasing success, stability, love, identity, validation. You've checked the boxes, built the image, played the roles. And now, perhaps around midlife, you pause and realize the view from this summit doesn't look or feel like you imagined. The applause has faded. The smile feels rehearsed. Something inside you whispers, "This isn't who I really am." And that whisper grows louder, slicing through the distractions, the routines, the justifications. So the question arises, who are you really beneath the mask? It's a question most people never dare to ask, because once you do, everything begins to unravel. Not in chaos, but in clarity. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist whose ideas still ripple through psychology and spirituality, once proposed something radical. The first half of life is for building the ego. The second half is for discovering the soul. But nobody tells you that. Society celebrates the first half: careers, achievements, marriages, milestones. And it quietly fears the second, labeling it a crisis instead of the sacred turning point it truly is. The mask you forgot you were wearing from birth. You were shaped. Given a name, a gender, a story, praised for being good, corrected for being too loud, too emotional, too different. Slowly you learn to perform, to adapt, to fit in. You built a version of yourself that could survive, one that could be loved, admired, approved of. But over time, that version, the persona, hardened into your identity. Now something inside you is breaking through the performance. It doesn't want more success. It doesn't need more applause. It wants the truth. And the truth is, you were never that mask. It served its purpose. It protected you. But now it suffocates you. When the persona cracks, the signs are subtle at first. A job that once inspired you now feels hollow. Friendships feel scripted. You look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back. You can't explain it. Everything appears fine, but you're not. This ache, this quiet restlessness, it's your soul speaking. Not with words, but with sensation, with longing, with grief. You are not falling apart. You are waking up. This isn't burnout. It's the beginning. Jung called this process individuation, the sacred path of becoming whole, of integrating the parts of you you've hidden, rejected, or forgotten. It's not about improving yourself. It's about remembering yourself. But it often begins when the ego fails, when the strategies that once worked stop working, when the roles you played feel lifeless. When what once felt like you now feels like a costume stitched together by other people's expectations. Midlife isn't a crisis. It's a crossroads. One road loops back into the old life, comfortable, known, but dead. The other descends inward, dark, mysterious, sacred. It is the soul's path, and it is terrifying. Because it is real. You are not broken. You are becoming. There's nothing wrong with you. It's the pain, the questions, the collapse of certainty. This is how awakening begins. Not with fireworks, but with a fracture. It asks you to face everything you've buried, the dreams you abandoned to be accepted, the anger you were taught to suppress, the voice you silenced to be safe. This is not spiritual fluff. This is deep work. It is messy, sacred, necessary. Jung warned that if we do not face the unconscious, it will control us and we will call it fate. The patterns will repeat. Until you decide to stop running, society doesn't prepare you for this modern life. It teaches you how to build, how to hustle, how to perform. It hands you maps for success, templates for achievement, and scripts for belonging. But it never teaches you how to fall apart, gracefully, honestly, necessarily. There are no ceremonies for the soul's quiet unraveling. No mentors guiding you through the sacred disillusionment of midlife. No rites of passage for becoming real. Instead, you're offered tools to optimize your calendar, improve your productivity, and master the art of appearing fine. When your soul begins to stir, when something ancient within you whispers that this ice and tea, if the world dose and tea, say, "Welcome, This is the beginning. It says, "What's wrong with you?" It labels your spiritual ache as burnout, your existential reflection as instability, your sacred pause as laziness or depression. It offers solutions that numb. More noise, more work, more validation. It teaches you to cover the cracks with fresh paint, to silence the soul with busyness. But what if the problem is not that something's breaking? What if the problem is that something is finally trying to break through? This isn't about doing more. It's about being more deeply, more honestly, more soulfully alive. The descent is sacred. There is a moment in life, often quiet, uncelebrated, where the outward pursuit begins to feel empty. The achievements no longer satisfy. The applause no longer fills you. The persona no longer fits. This is not failure. This is initiation. In ancient cultures, this shift was honored. The warrior laid down his sword and became a mystic. The provider turned inward and became a seer. The ego stepped aside so the soul could speak. But in our modern world, we have forgotten this wisdom. We idolize the ascent growth, performance, recognition. And we pathologize the descent calling, a crisis, regression, weakness. We are terrified of silence. We are afraid of slowness. We avoid the deep because we've never learned how to swim in it. So we fill our calendars. We scroll until our thumbs hurt. We build busy lives, not because we are alive, but because we are afraid of being still afraid of what will rise in the silence. But your soul doesn't forget. It doesn't vanish. It waits patiently behind the noise. It whispers in quiet moments, in dreams, in the unease that can't be explained. And if ignored too long, it begins to scream. It's a scream, that's not madness. That's your sacred calling. Listen before the collapse if you are feeling the unrest, the fatigue, strange hollow ache that no success can fill. Know this. You are not broken. You are being invited. This discomfort you're carrying is not something to medicate, dismiss, or run from. It is the voice of your inner world asking for your attention, gently at first, then urgently, ready to stop performing. Ready to stop performing, ready to shed inherited roles, ready to stop surviving and start living. And no, that doesn't mean walking away from your life. It means walking back into it with open eyes, with a real self, with a beating soul. It means releasing the expectations that no longer nourish you. It means honoring what you've ignored. It means turning your gaze inward and asking, what part of me have I silenced to be who I thought I had to be? To listen is courageous. To pause is revolutionary. To become present is the most radical act of all. You don't need to abandon everything. You just need to stop abandoning yourself. Integration, not improvement. We live in a culture obsessed with fixing, hacking, and leveling up. But you are not a machine. You are not broken code. You are a sacred mystery. This is not about self-improvement. This is about self-reclamation. Carl Jung called this journey individuation, the slow spiral path of integrating everything you are, the light and the shadow, the child and the sage, the pain and the purpose. Real growth doesn't climb in a straight line. It circles, it spirals. It dives before it ascends. You don't rise by force. You rise by descent, by facing what you've buried, forgiving what you've hidden, and embracing what you've disowned. And it's messy. Healing is not a sunrise moment. It's 1,000 small reckonings. It's weeping for the version of yourself you never got to live. It's releasing the need to impress anyone, including yourself. The goal is not perfection. The goal is presence. Because becoming whole isn't about changing who you are. It's about finally allowing who you are to exist without apology. The world doesn't need your perfection. It needs your truth. What happens when you stop performing? When you stop pretending to be okay? When you start living from your truth, not your persona, you become powerful not in domination, but in presence. You become a mirror reflecting authenticity, not aspiration. You inspire not with your achievements, but with your aliveness. And that's when everything starts to shift. The conversations deepen. The distractions lose their grip. The people who are only drawn to your mask begin to fall away. Those who recognize your truth begin to find you not because you marketed yourself, but because your being became a signal. This is the quiet revolution. No banners, no stage, just you present, rooted and real. The second half of life isn't about proving anything. It's about remembering everything you are. The return home, as Jung wrote. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And yet most people never claim that privilege. They live rehearsed lives, they die as strangers to themselves, but not you. It's not now. Because something inside you knows this isn't the end, it's the beginning. You're not being asked to burn down your life. You're being asked to return home not to a place, but to your essence. To that quiet, ancient knowing that was there before the world told you who to be. You are not late. You are not lost. You are exactly where you need to be. This unraveling is not collapse, it's clearing. This ache is not weakness, it's your soul waking up. So ask yourself again, what if everything I've built isn't who I truly am? And are you willing to find out? If this message touches something deep in you, it awakens a truth you. The long ignored dawn, keep it in silence. Like this video, let your presence ripple outward. Leave a comment below and tell us where in your journey you are. What part of this reflection speaks to your soul? What mask are you ready to let go of? What truth are you finally ready to claim? 'Cause in a world addicted to noise, your voice, your real voice matters. You are not here to be perfect. You are here to be whole. You are here to remember, and that remembering, it begins now.